one Twitch streamer hearing about our weekend. Hey everyone, this is Stand-Up and Water-Cooler Talk, and we're going to do a little bit of maybe debugging session. Although we might go offline because we don't want to show secrets, right? Um, Not like secrets as in we're doing anything sneaky, but actual
Yeah.
secrets, like strings that are important that we don't want to expose. So Fede had his tournament this weekend playing paddle. Didn't go well. Tell
Yeah.
tell us about it,
And
Fede. Tell us about it.
so we passed groups first in our group, then we play round of fate, and we were 5-2 on the first set,
Mhm.
40-0, and we ended up losing that set like 7-6. It was just
Wow.
we had like 4 set points. We lost all of them, and then we lost the game.
So, do you think it was just a mental thing because you had
Yeah,
it and then you just collapsed? You're crushing
yeah,
them.
a
You're
hundred
playing
percent
well.
mental. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know I got anxious just to finish the set,
Serve.
win the set.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to you have like I don't know an easy ball and you have to like smash it really hard just to win the set. But you have to play safe on those cases and let the other team like lost. Yeah, it was hard,
And that's rough.
rough. Yeah,
Especially when you're like you're better than the other team, and
yeah,
then they come back and they beat you, and they have the greatest comeback of all time. Meanwhile, you're just like, what the fuck happened?
yeah,
That's rough. Yeah, that's that's a big
yeah,
blow to any ego. Well, it humbled you. It's like, yeah, it's like you have to just like play and never change. Like do what got you the winning in the first place. Don't change anything up. But that's hard because your brain's like, oh, take it easy. They'll fuck up.
yeah.
They'll
You're almost there,
Yeah,
and yeah,
take it easy. This happens a lot in sports, right? Where you'll have like you'll be blowing the other team out, right? And then you just let the team is just crushing their team, lets their foot off the gas, and they're just
right.
playing not to lose rather than playing to win like they were before, and then they lose it. So
It happens. I think it happens a lot on transit. I don't know. You're driving somewhere, so
mm,
you're almost there, and I think most of the accidents happens on that last like part of the trips because
mm,
you want to get there. So yeah, you need to say we're almost there, calm down, and it's safer. But I think there has to be some kind of study that when you're really close to somewhere, you are more like likely to have an accident.
yeah, yeah. It sounds like you had a pretty bad accident.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. So like I was telling you, I had uh, I just got so Saturday I played volleyball like early morning. We played like 7 a.m. for a while, and then uh, in the beginning wasn't doing too great, but then later games like I got my touch back. Just like um, calm the mind, just be in the moment, play better passes and stuff, and actually started winning. Like the week before, I don't think I won a single game. I was like, how there if you're playing with like four people and then one guy's really good and he's like the ultimate winner, you're on that guy's team, you win, right? I'm like the ultimate loser. I don't even I humble the ultimate winner, right? So was much better this Saturday playing volleyball, and then yesterday played basketball 9:30 a.m. But I got there early to shoot around, just to get a touch going. Didn't really help. My knee's feeling pretty good. I had like a knee brace thing that I put on, bought another one recently. So knees feeling pretty good. But my hand, I like jammed this finger the previous basketball
Oh,
day. So this is my shooting hand. but still, it shouldn't be enough to bother the actual shot. And then I think in volleyball, I'm not exactly sure exactly when I hurt my wrist, but I ran into my partner. We both went for the ball, and then we didn't say like me or you, and we ran into each other. And at the time, it didn't feel anything, but then woke up the next day, and actually not even the next day. I took a nap after the game because after volleyball, and then I woke up and my wrist is all fucked up. So left hand's got the wrist problem, right hand's got the finger issue, then I got the knee issues, just like old age. But I think I'm healing faster because the videos we watched about like we're all under nutrified, right? So like your body is trying to do its best to heal you up. But if you don't get the nutrients, I think I'm actually recovering pretty fast. And then
Nice.
I signed up for like my knee's feeling actually pretty good today. And I played like 8 games of volleyball, no problems. My knee wasn't tired at the end of it, and then basketball knee was fine also afterwards. My body was like tired because I was playing in like the sun, and that beats you up.
Right.
But I like playing basketball, which is my main sport. I didn't have the drive that I wanted to get to the basket. So I'm like, my jump shot's struggling, just because it's a confidence issue. It's mostly confidence, right? So
Yeah.
if I am just shooting by myself, I can shoot pretty high percentage just practicing, right? But in the game, they got the little voice in your fucking head. And
Yeah. Then I don't know, you miss the first one, and then it's harder and harder and
yeah.
harder.
Like if
You have to
you're,
remind that you're as good as before your last shot. So yeah.
you have to have a clear mind every time you
Right.
shoot it. In fact, you shouldn't even be thinking at all, right? That's why we talk about breath work. If you're practicing, you should practice with your mind focused on your breath. Granted that you know what you're doing, right? Like you've practiced the motions that you're doing it properly. You have good form, right? So once you've automatically gotten the good form, after that you need to just get out of the way. Don't let your mind get in the way of your body. Your body has intelligence. Let the body do its thing. Don't be your fucking guy blocking your own shot,
Yeah.
right? Like, don't be your best defender on against yourself. So, yeah, but I'm not gonna quit. I'm gonna go practice some more. Tomorrow, I found there's a college here that at 6 a.m. they have runs, indoor basketball court, and so I'll be out there tomorrow. I played Thursday, and I was very like beta, like didn't want to make a scene, just there for exercise. Wasn't I had a few moments where I was pretty aggressive because they have like the shittiest guy guarding me, and I'm like, I'm way better than whoever's guarding me here, but the mindset's not there of like
Right.
go at this motherfucker. So we'll see if I can do better. Hopefully my body's feeling good by then. I'm not doing any sports today because I hit the gym. All right. So let me give you some updates about semantic search. So I did 2 POC scripts. One script took every single message, did the gecko embedding, put it into Pinecone, and then when you do the queries, it gives you a confidence score for each message and gives you top 5 or whatever amount that you want. The problem is that if you're searching for Project Alpha, the query was, what is Project Alpha? So the first one was good. It said Project Alpha, blah, blah, blah. Numbers 2, 3, 4, 5 were all about different projects. Okay. So that just looks bad, right? If you're querying for a certain thing. So one thing that the layer that we're going to add into it is like AI filtering. So we'll get those messages and then we'll say like, hey, are these messages relevant? If they're not relevant, let's not show them because it just makes us look bad. And then on top of that, the other problem that I discovered was if you're just doing all of Slack messages, you're going to get all of these messages that have no context. So you're going to have messages that say like yes or thumbs up or whatever, right? Like it's not going to have the context. So one thing that I'm adding on to the specification is the for each main message thread, we do a summary. And we generate the summary every time that thread is updated, modified, messages deleted, whatever, right? And whenever there's a delta. But we don't do it on every single message. We create like a to-do, okay? And you might have like, within the hour, you might have like 20, 30 messages that might have updated. That all go to the, like one to-do. And then maybe it updates the timestamp, right? And so then once you've done it, you delete the to-do, but you might have new to-dos coming in also as you're creating that summary and updating. So I've updated the semantic search specification to talk about that. That's going to require like we'll have the Google Cloud Scheduler. Like every hour, it'll say, "Show me all your to-dos." Yeah. It'll generate the summary. It'll put it into Pinecone. So that's my thinking right now of how we can make the search much better, because you don't necessarily want to be asking like, give me all the messages that are relevant to this. You want answers, right? I want to say what
Yeah,
is
you should get like the relevant messages and then use AI to generate an answer based on those messages.
Right. So let me tell you the stuff that I updated in the doc. Let me share. And of course, this is not a secret because we're open source. So we're not hiding how we're doing stuff. Okay. So the result will include, this is how I modified this. The top 5 messages default, and only if they're relevant according to GPT-4. So if it finds like, hey, just because it has the word project in it, Project Alpha and Project Beta are 2 different things. Don't misconstrue them. Only show the relevant messages that are coming up. And that also makes us look better. Because if we just start showing messages that are not related whatsoever, it's just like your semantic search sucks. So we're kind of adding like an intelligence layer. And we can do something like, it could be like one GPT-4 query where we say, here are 5 messages. I want you to give me some JSON back that has the summary about answering the question, and then also show me only give me back the messages that are relevant, right? So that one query can formulate the JSON that we then put into the message. I moved this to post-release, the button, to make it public, right? So anything that's post-release, we want to make sure that it actually adds value and that people actually want it. We think it's important, but that's not the main value. The main value is getting answers. So in here, I moved the top K flag to post-release. Okay, so do people want more messages? We have to ask. We have to have people test it out and be like, yeah, I need more messages, so then we'll implement it. So this has also been moved post-release. Data storage will have text of the message or the summary of the thread, and the ID. That's another thing here, the ID. And then if you're doing an ID of the summary, it'd be like the message ID of the main message -- summary for the ID.
Okay.
And let's see, this is all the same. Summaries will be created and stored for any main message threads. We'll put it all in Pinecone. The background, blah, blah. Oh, here we talk about the to-dos. So whenever there's a thread gets updated, you create hey, this needs to be updated in your hourly cron job thing that you're doing. And there in the to-do, we have the timestamp. So you delete any old, once you do the when you kick off the summarization, you delete all the previous to-dos of a certain timestamp for a certain thread, right? So you can get new ones coming in as you're generating the thread. So the query would be very based off of timestamp. So this is just something we put in our database. Organization isolation will be using namespaces. So you can have a single index and then you can namespace. So that will keep different organizations out of each other. And then the namespace might be like production dash the Slack ID of the organization, and maybe other stuff if we think it's important.
Yeah, organization ID should work.
Let's see here. How to use message that you get put on there. That hasn't changed. And then com_trues also did some stuff. Let me share that. You can look at that separately. We're going to talk about tomorrow in our meeting also. So I'll send it to you in the private chat here.
Okay.
So what I did for the script, I can't show the script on here because it has secrets. But I went on to GPT-4. I said, give me 100 messages about 3 different projects and that have threads. And that's how, so it didn't even have like filler messages, like someone saying yes or emojis or whatever. They're all like relevant messages for each within its own thing. So we also need to be thinking about how do we include in the message or the embedding the channel, because you need to have the context of it. If you can even get the description of the channel, right? So we need to think about that. Like, how do you get context for a particular message for better search results?
Yeah, I guess in the event you can know the channel.
Right. So, because otherwise, if you're just taking messages by themselves, they are pretty useless. If you don't know, like you're doing it in a certain channel, it also might be very important to know who's saying what, right?
Yeah.
So if it's coming from the CEO versus the janitor, like who's saying is important. So we need to think about how do we make the summary include who said what, and that sort of thing. So also, how do you take we don't necessarily show the summary of the thread to the user, but we use it to generate our own summary that we take the independent messages that are relevant to show. So, and is 5 a good number? Maybe 10, 20, 100 messages. What's the right number for us pulling for the top K?
Okay.
All right. So that's the update there. I have Mel looking into AI-based CRMs. So CRMs are customer relationship management tools. Popular ones are like Salesforce or Zoho and whatnot. I pretty much instructed her, get me something new that's just AI driven, because we want to automate as much of that as possible, meaning the communication with these prospective customers as they're going through the sales funnel, they're not getting hit by you, me, or anybody. It's AI having the conversation that understands our product and make the sale for us. And then there's maybe a handoff somewhere that says this customer is ready for an in-person demo, or this customer wants to talk about whatever with whoever, either me,
Okay.
or Lot, or whoever.
Yeah, sounds good.
So she's gonna be working on that. And let me look at my to-dos. I'm gonna try add embeddings. So Gecko embeddings are 768 dimension, ADA is like 1,000. It's like double, right? So we'll see if additional embeddings results in better context or understanding. Um, it seemed like they were very similar from Com's test. Like his results were the same. So the benefit of us using Gecko is that it's faster. Apparently, it's much faster than ADA, and then also we have all the credits from Google.
Okay.
And I still need to work on the demo page. That should be pretty simple. I can just pretty much send them to a Google form that they can fill out, and then we can schedule demos and stuff. But ideally, if it's built into our CRM platform, that we can kind of have them schedule stuff or whatever, that's ideal. And so today I'm going to continue on with the POC of the semantic search, but I want to jump into it with you about the latency stuff and the cold boot issues. That's priority number one. We need to make Haley fast as possible.
Yeah. So I like commented every call to our API to see what happened, and it's still slow. So and I got that SSL error again once with a call to OpenAI, and then it was just one time, and then it was
Transient.
gone. But yeah, and now it's just still slow. It takes like 20 seconds sometimes to call OpenAI.
So some options. We ask the internet for help, Stack Overflow. We open up a ticket with Google. We tell them what we've tried. I mean, we spun up an instance in the same region with the same container, and it worked, right?
Yeah, but
But not in our
yeah,
app.
it was right. It wasn't in our app.
So do you want to try something where you spin it up and then try the app within that container?
Yeah, but I don't know how to do that. I would like to redeploy this, like I don't know actually. I'm totally lost.
We can. So I'm just gonna spitball some ideas. We can try running it elsewhere, different region or something. We can take it out of Google Cloud and see how it runs elsewhere. I mean, it runs fine on your laptop.
Yep.
Right? Same code, same calls.
Yeah. Now I'm trying to build like our Flask bot in a different way, because we were using Flask, and if you see the Slack documentation, they just use their own library and handle events like with no Flask. I don't know why we did it that way. So I'm trying that to see if it's a bit faster, but I don't think that's
I don't know. I don't think
the
anything
issue.
in Python's gonna take up 10 seconds.
But what it isn't.
I don't know. It's quite the conundrum as to what's causing so much latency. Considering we didn't have this problem before, and then we didn't introduce anything complicated. Are you sure you didn't put a sleep statement for 10 seconds in there?
No,
So
I
funny
don't think.
story. This one developer in my first job up in the Bay Area, he he did that. He put a sleep statement in there for debugging, and then he rolled it out, and then he couldn't figure out like why everything was slow, and it was like a quad, like 3-4 loops, and then there he had a sleep statement, and he's like, I don't understand. This thing is taking so many minutes to
Right.
do, and then it was like, all right, walk me through, and then someone's like, why do you have that sleep statement there? And he's like, oh, why did I just waste a week of my time?
No, the only sleep we have is for the retry. When some API call fails, we sleep for 1 second and we try again. But that's it. I'm going to try removing that thinking message that we sent, and then we update it, because I don't know, that's the main difference right now with between like our Haley and the one we have on Lots workspace.
Mhm.
Uh, but yeah, just gonna have to
All right.
keep trying different things.
Well,
I updated a lot of libraries to see if that was an issue.
so I would, if you can open a ticket with Google and be like, guys, we've been struggling with this for a month and we can't figure it out. This is what we've tried. I would, if you can run the app, spin up the container, run it, log into it, run it, and see how it works from within the app. Because we tried before, we just did Python code, right?
Mhm.
So spin up the container, have the app running, and then um, how do you point? You'd have to change, like if you did a Haley Fede on a pointed it at the container running in the cloud.
How?
So how does Haley Fede know to go to your local?
I just changed on the Slack. I use ngrok on Slack. I put my ngrok address.
So instead of
So
the ngrok address, point it to the container. I think you need to get a public IP though for that
yeah.
container.
But what's the difference between running a container again and using the
Okay,
container that Hail is running on? Just change the code and redeploy and test.
what's the difference between? Say that
What can I
again.
do if I run the container as you are saying, and just like using Haley and changing the code and trying there? What can I see if I run the container myself that I can't with
I'm thinking it's an
Haley right now?
environment issue. I'm thinking it's a cloud issue.
But the other container is running well. The other Haley, old Haley, is working fine.
What do you mean old Haley, like Haley lot?
Yeah,
That one's running in the cloud, not it wasn't
yeah.
local.
No, it's on the cloud. Yeah, it's also on Cloud Run.
Can we rename Haley lot? Can we update Haley lot? No, can we update Haley lot to the latest code?
I could check. I guess we should be able. I don't know how, but I can check. It's running on the same region, same machine.
How about if can you do a whole new deployment that's like Haley test in the cloud and see if we run the same problem?
Yeah, I can try. Never done it, so it's gonna take some time, but I can try.
I still suspect it's like a DNS problem because I can't think of what else it could. I mean, it could be an SSL issue, like somehow the handshake just gets locked up and sometimes you just like you get to a point where you're just like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm just gonna murder this whole thing and start over.
Yeah.
So besides Google Cloud Run, is there other options?
For what?
Because we can run this thing in Heroku,
Mm,
the Flask app,
yeah.
which we did before. It literally took 10 minutes to deploy it in Heroku.
Yeah, but I think we never got it working on Heroku.
It was running. I deleted the account.
I think that was for like our billing app, and it never worked, I think. Because Alice was trying, but he couldn't make it work, I think. She couldn't make it work.
Well, she stopped trying because she wanted to make it work in Cloud Run. So
Yeah.
she didn't really put in the effort. All right, so why don't we, what's the very first problem we run into? It's the call to our backend to do increment count.
No,
Just
now
get-
we are. I'm not even doing any call to our API right now. Just calls to Slack and OpenAI, and that's it.
Okay, so we're still running into the cold boot issue, right?
Yeah, I don't know. The thinking message is not that slow.
Let me try, hold on. Oh, it's immediate.
Yeah.
Did you hit her up earlier today? Wow, she's fast. She's fast on how she's responded immediately.
Still thinking for me. It's been like.
So right now that she's not doing any calls to increment count, she's going straight to OpenAI.
Yeah.
Let me try that again.
But it answered fast, or it's just the thinking that was fast?
Both were fast. Thinking was fast and it also responded fast. And now
It's so slow for me.
Now it's slow again. So what the fuck? Why is it fast in one request? And then the second time it took about 8 seconds. I'm gonna ask her, why are you slow? Thinking was fast.
Oh, let me check.
And her thinking didn't take that long. So let me try one more time. What's new? 1,000, 1,000, up to 2 seconds for thinking, and then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Now she's really slow. So do you think we're getting maybe rate limited by OpenAI? I mean, we're barely using this thing.
Yeah, but I mean, I think I'm using the same key on my local environment, and it's faster. So
Yeah, she's still thinking. So now she's taking 20 plus.
unless they are rate limiting by IP, but I don't think so. Well, maybe. Yeah. But she's taking too long on like to update the. Well, no, here it took 14 seconds to run the completion with OpenAI. 17 seconds. What the fuck?
And Haley Lott is fast.
Yeah.
Let me try Haley Lott. One 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000. That's weird. Okay. 1,000, 1 1,000, 2 1,000, 3 1,000, 4 1,000, 5 1,000, 6 1,000, 7 1,000. 7 seconds. It's the same container, right? Python 3.7 Slim.
Yeah, we haven't changed that Docker file. Let me check history.
Can we
In
compare?
6 months.
Can we compare those two Cloud Run files, the Cloud Build files?
Yeah, they should be the same. I compare the machines they're running. It's the same. The YAML. Let's check the YAML files.
Right. Be right back. Bathroom break.
Okay.
One thing that Bart had pointed out was if you make the initial call out to a different region or a different zone, that can add lots of latency, which I don't think we're doing. You're muted.
Yeah, we're using the same region for both. I'm checking.
Billing
There's
backend.
something. Sorry.
Our billing backend is billing backend dash backend .upmortem.com.
One sec.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty quick. I gave you Python code and you put it into the app. Fuck. Bard's like, I can't do that. I'm just a language model. And then I do it again, and it's like, here you go. Here's the code. So here is, I'm gonna put the code in Slack. So just times how long the DNS resolution takes. So the example there is Google, but you would do this for billing backend. You do it for the OpenAI domain. This would let you
Okay.
know, do it from within the instance itself. Maybe you have to do a new path, or you can do the logs, right? So just put in the logs somewhere. And then if that's fast, then we can at least say it's not DNS.
Check. Let me stash all my changes.
I'm gonna go grab cereal. Be right back.
Okay.
I'm sending you the same thing, but for also doing SSL connection timing.
Okay. Let me try locally.
Ready for the get team data. Which Python library are you using?
Just request.
Did you try changing it out for URL lib?
But that one is the only one that's fast.
Oh, that one
The
works.
team data.
Okay.
Sorry? Yeah, the other ones are, but still the OpenAI ones are also. Now we are not even doing that one, not even the get data. Let me try this. Okay. I'm just going to do it with OpenAI for now.
You're using the API domain?
Right? I'm using what?
What domain are you using for the API?
It's api.openai.com.
Okay.
I don't know. For the check SSL, should I use HTTPS
Yeah.
for the host? Or
No, it doesn't matter. Well, what's the example? The example uses no, just use the same domain.
okay. Okay, should be redeploying now.
Yeah, Bard says reach out to support for help.
Okay, it should be reapplied. I think we broke it. Okay, it took, yeah, nothing to resolve the host. The other one failed.
All right,
Handshake failure, it says.
I'm gonna kill the broadcast. You want to share your screen? All right.
Okay,
Bye, one
yeah.
person watching.